My name is Michael Faselli. We're currently at the National Institutes of Health Building 10 Clinical Center. This is the adult oncology unit, and we're in the urology data office. So my research is in prostate cancer. It is a male cancer that is very prevalent in the United States. What I do specifically, I study the disease, how we detect it, and ways to improve our characterization of prostate cancer. But it's all clinical, it's not lab work. So what I'm looking at is results from patients' cancers themselves, biopsies, imaging that we can use to kind of detect cancer. And that includes magnetic resonance imaging, or MRI. So my parents are originally from Italy. They actually moved to the United States 2 years before I was born. And they own a restaurant in Delaware. They have nothing to do with science at all. So having had very little kind of guidance from them, what I explored in school was kind of what I was interested in. As I got to 7th grade, I remember specifically having a science teacher who really said that, I had a knack for science and I should pursue it. And from then on, I kind of just went with studying biology. I went to the University of Delaware, where I majored in biology, and now I currently attend Jefferson Medical College in Philadelphia for medical school. So that's kind of how I got through that. In terms of my passion for science, yeah, it started in 7th grade, really, when I had that teacher who really motivated me to keep working and ask questions and constantly be curious. My day-to-day is very routine. I do a lot of analysis on data that we acquire through chart acquisition, basically kind of mining for things. I've been writing a lot, but that's kind of something that all scientists should, practice. Reading a lot of the literature, that's also really important. So when I'm home and not here, it's usually doing those things, reading and writing, to really maintain your scientific background. I've sat with pathologists and I've looked at slides, for instance, with them, kind of learning what disease pathology looks like. I've sat with the radiologists and they've taught us how to read MRIs, specifically for the prostate and the pelvis.
We're actually able to see it growing up here.
The Medical Research Scholarship Program is a great opportunity to work here at the NIH, where science is so deeply rooted and research is abound everywhere. When I was first told about the program, it was in the office of one of my urology attendings who kind of suggested that if I wanted to do some research for a year, that I apply here. I found out while I was on rotation that I was accepted. And I just remember getting really excited and not knowing what the next step was, and that's not common for me. So to not know what the next step was big, and I was definitely floored to have the opportunity to come to the NIH. And there's just so much history that the Medical Research Scholarship Program kind of shows you about the scientific community in terms of all of these special didactic lectures that we get and bi-weekly teaching rounds. And I think that really kind of helps us focus on, why different physicians have been successful in their research, keeps our medical knowledge up to date, and gives us a chance to really ask what we see out of ourselves in the future and with our careers. 20 years from now, I see prostate cancer being better screened for and better detected using imaging, because that's really what everyone here is really a huge proponent of. What I see us doing a lot better is diagnosing the cancer early, but maintaining this idea that we don't need to biopsy the prostate. What we'll be able to do with imaging alone is detect cancer, tell the patient what kind or how severe that cancer is, and tell them what we recommend in management without having to actually use any sort of needle biopsy or any sort of invasive technique to diagnose that disease. So I think it'll be a lot less invasive in both diagnostic and in management of prostate cancer. My passion for science really comes from the fact that you get to ask questions. There's a freedom to be right and there's a freedom to be wrong, and it's just kind of this experience that you get. You can totally tell when you're really stimulated in what you do. And with science, even something as simple as doing data analysis, where you're kind of just looking at results and seeing what comes out in terms of your statistical tests, it seems very mundane at the time, but I just get really excited to see how things will what results we can conclude, what things are different, new. What I found in this last year that I've been working here at the NIH is that these research questions that we're asking of our imaging modalities, of everything that we do here, it's really trying to improve the scientific community at large, which I think having that sort of outward impact is what everyone kind of aspires to. So that's what's been exciting.